everyone! Chapter 9, Worksheet 3, Converting Coordinates. This is Miss Oshier.
And Miss LaHart.
And let's do some math. I mean, here we go. Okay.
I love me some math. So you're probably wondering, how do we go back and forth between polar to regular coordinates, rectangular coordinates?
And if you weren't wondering that, well, we're wondering for you.
Yes, you should be wondering.
So we have been always used to XY, but now we're talking about R theta. Okay. But as you can see, they're like, I could just put a coordinate system that you're used to on top of my polar coordinate graph, and you guys could have a coordinate.
Yep.
So how do we get there? Think back to your beautiful algebra, trigonometry from geometry. There we go.
Okay.
The easy stuff, okay? Theta, cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. So if I want the x distance, right, because if this is an x, y, if I want this distance here, which is x, that's going to be r times cosine theta. Same thing goes with finding y. Opposite over hypotenuse, y is going to be r times the sine of theta.
Yep.
And you need to know those two things.
Yep.
X equals r cosine theta, y equals r sine theta.
Yep. That's all you have to remember. Here we go. All right. So if x equals r cosine theta, you're just going to good old plug and chug, baby.
Boom.
R is 6. The cosine is pi over 6. Cosine of pi over 6, you should be able to do that in your head.
You need to know you're good at circle, people.
Yep.
This is where the finger, the hand trick really comes in handy.
30, 60, 90, 45. Ha, it comes into handy. That was hilarious.
Okay, 180 divided by 6 is 30. Cosine of 30 is root 3 over 2.
Okay,
Boom.
and then you would get, because you would simplify.
Yes.
So there's your x coordinate. Now let's go after a y. Same situation, just with sine. Oh, this one's easier, thank goodness.
Boom.
Oh. And then make sure you put it as a point, people. X, y. Don't be lazy. Give us a coordinate.
Oh, see? Okay.
All right.
All right, next one. X equals r cosine theta. Substitute your values in. 2 pi over 3. 180 divided by 3 is 60 times 2 is 120. So this is cosine 120. You're in the second quadrant where cosine is negative, so you have negative 1/2. We shouldn't have to go slowly with that part. That's out. That's math that you've already done with your trigonometry.
And we've done it so much, you should be able to do this in your sleep.
So x is 3/2, people.
I'll do the y. Y equals negative 3 times the sine of 2 pi over 3, which is going to be a positive radical 3 over 2. And then when you multiply, you're going to get negative 3 radical 3 over 2. You put it together in a pretty point, and you stamp it, and it's over with.
Boom, done. Now let's just think about this. Negative 3. What angle did we say this was? 180 divided by 3 is 60. 120.
120.
Okay. So that is out here because 120 is up here, but it was negative 3. Let's just make sure this makes sense. If you go 3/2 and down, yeah, you are in the fourth quadrant. Okay. So that's what it means. See? 3/2, negative 3 root 3 over 2.
So you can kind of check yourself.
You can.
Before
absolutely.
you wreck yourself.
Amen, sister friend.
All right, here we go.
They're going to be like, what were you guys talking about?
180 over 3 is 300.
So we did negative 180 divided by 3. So 180 divided by 3 is 60, but we're going negative, so that's 300.
Woohoo! I thought we had a typo. I got nervous.
I checked it, I swear. 4 cosine 300 is 4 times 1/2, which is 2.
Because they never let it down if we make a mistake. Just saying. All right, 4
We're
times the
human.
sine of 30 is something. 300 radical, negative radical 3 over 2. You multiply, and that's what you get. All right.
So there's your coordinate. Just like that. All right, let's do another one. R cosine theta. Done. This is the nice thing. Radius, what's the cosine of 270? 0.
Oh.
So we don't know what to do anything more. It's done.
Okay.
See, look. Boom. That's 0 too. Think about it. If you're doing negative 270, which is here, and then you go to negative 2, which is there, look, it's just like 0, 2. Bam.
Even if you didn't pick up on that, if you would have done the formulas, they would have popped up the same thing.
Absolutely. I was just showing you a shortcut. Do the formulas. If that's throwing you off, do the formulas. You'll get it.
Yep.
Now let's go the other way.
Ooh. Okay.
So we're going to use the same concepts, okay? But we also need to point out that, because we need to have a way to solve for the angle, okay? Remember, the tangent is slope. So it's your y value over your x, or your sine over your cosine. So we need to introduce that guy. And then think about your Pythagorean theorem. Okay, this is the hypotenuse of a right triangle. So x squared plus y squared is going to equal r squared. And that should be all you need to go. So to get our angle, we're going to do tangent theta equals y over x. Boom. Calculator usage. Boom.
Wow. That's cool. So now you do the r, because you need an angle and you need your r value. So you're going to do r squared equals x squared plus y squared. You do your Pythagorean theorem correctly.
Be careful here, people.
Yes.
2 root 3 squared is not 2 times 3. It's 4 times 3, which is 12.
Yep.
Be careful.
Yep. R squared equals 16. I got you. R equals plus or minus 4.
Again, be careful now.
Yep.
Okay. Now you actually have to pay attention. You need to figure out, well, which one do you need?
Right. Do we need the positive or do we need the negative?
So these were both. Oh, I didn't show it, but okay. This
Where are
is
you?
positive. So I'm in the first quadrant. So I'm going to need positive 4 because I'm in 30s in the first quadrant. So I need the positive 4 to keep myself in the first quadrant. I show it on a graph somewhere else. You'll see it.
Okay, so here we go again. You got to first go after your angle measurement. Tan of theta is the y over the x. Boom, boom.
Which you already know.
Boom.
Calculator, bam.
Negative 60.
Notice you have a negative angle this time, which is also 300. You have options, people.
Yep. Now let's go after the r. R squared equals x squared plus y squared. You do that, you get r squared equals 12. Make sure you know how to simplify a radical. And now let's think about it. All right, negative, positive means I'm where?
Okay, so if you were going to use the negative 60 angle, you're going to need the negative 2 root 3. Because either way, you're in the fourth quadrant here.
Right.
So if you're here and you're going negative positive, as Miss LaHart was just saying, you're in the second quadrant. So how do I get a fourth quadrant into the second quadrant? By choosing the negative. So it shoots it over the other way.
That's a good.
So that's why we chose the negative 2 root 3.
So they shoot them.
Shoot them over.
Okay. Negative 1, negative 1. 45, 45.
45. The answer's 45.
I love that.
Oh, look how pretty that is.
Oof. Plus or minus. All right,
That
negative
should be
1.
root 2. That should be root 2.
Oh,
error,
geez.
error. Oh, and I checked it too.
I know.
Square root of 2, everybody. Square root of 2.
Ugh, we're never going to leave this down. All right, negative 1, negative 1. Where am I? 3.
Look,
right?
I got it right up there. Okay, sorry. Start over. Negative 1, negative 1. Third quadrant. This is the first quadrant. So how do I shoot myself into the third quadrant?
The negative.
Negative. And again, that's a radical 2. Clearly I knew because it was there. Just, oh, man. So sad.
I know. I don't even know if we can go forward. I got you. Okay.
Y over X.
See how disgruntled we are right now? Ooh, look at that decimal.
I'm so scared. Don't be afraid. You can handle it.
Okay.
Okay, remember, I just did 360 minus this to get this. Okay.
Positive angle.
Boom, boom, boom.
R squared.
Plus or minus radical 29. It's not pretty, I know, but we can still figure this out. Now, you have two options. You can use both the angles.
Yep.
But you need to be in the second quadrant.
Right.
So both of these angles are in the fourth quadrant.
So we gotta shoot them.
So we gotta shoot them over. So we pick the negative.
Shoot them.
That's it, everybody. Have a fantastic day. We'll see you in class.